Welcome back to Weekend Today. It's lovely to have your company, and with a federal election fast approaching, the Prime Minister will today announce an $8.5 billion overhaul to Medicare. For more, let's bring in today's talkers, Nationals leader David Littleproud and Nova's Ash Gardner. Good morning to you both. David, we will start with you. This plan promises cheaper GPs and doctors, cheaper healthcare is a good thing. So what's your reaction to this?
Yeah, look, obviously we'll look at the detail, but we welcome this increased spending because something had to be done to arrest this. The problem has increased since Anthony Albanese came into office. Bulk billing rates have gone from 88% to 77%. And even Peter Dutton, who they paint as the boogeyman when he was health minister a decade ago, had it at 84%. And most people have on average about $46 out of pocket. So what we want to do is be sensible about this and make sure we get the settings right. I think it's important we'll look through the details. I'm sure the AMA and Royal Australian College of General Practice will as well. But what we want to make sure is that we don't just have quick care, we have quality care. You've got to understand that we need to make sure that the longer consultations also looked at as well, so that we're not incentivising just going down that quick consultation. We want to make sure that we keep that quality of care there in GP practice. And the only thing I would say that the government has missed in this is those 20 extra Medicare supported funding for mental health. Mental health can't be forgotten in this. It's just as important as GP practice, and we've already made over $500 million commitment towards that. And I just think that hopefully the government will look at that and back where we are. But we'll be mature about this. There's something needed to happen. This was becoming a political noose around Labor's neck around the fact that the health was getting away from them. Bulk billing rates have decreased since they've got there. If they didn't do something about it, it was going to hurt them. We were going to do something anyway, and obviously Peter will be out later to detail some more about what we're talking about. Will
he be matching it, do you think?
Oh, look, I think the quantum of funding is appropriate, and obviously we want to make sure we've got the detail right. There's no unintended consequences. We want to make sure there's quality care, not just quick care. And obviously we're not walking away from those extra Medicare-supported mental health sessions. I think that's very important for everyone, and we just hope the government would match that as well. But I think there's that quantum of money is going to be needed if you want to get bulk billing rates up to where the Coalition had it, and Labor needs to do that, and we want to do it as well.
Ash, we've seen a massive drop in bulk billing services recently. Do you think this will be enough to fix services?
Look, I think low to middle income earners have been screaming out for cost of living relief. So if it's going to cost them less to see the doctor, then I think that will come as welcome news. But I do think we need to take a look at the bigger picture and the other variables that might contribute to a person's health. There are people who can't afford to turn the heater on during winter. There are people who can't afford fresh produce in their weekly grocery shop. So I think that's something that needs to be looked at pretty urgently as well.
I mean, this does, you would imagine, assist with the cost of living crisis at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Cost of living is a massive issue. People are really struggling, and this will help, I guess, people when they are unwell and need to see the doctor. But maybe let's look at the other factors that might lead them to need to see the doctor in the first place.
David, the Coalition's Medicare record isn't great. Peter Dutton back in 2015 voted as the worst health minister in living memory by a large group of doctors. Does he need to prioritise fixing his image before the election when it comes to Medicare?
Well, I think you've taken in the glossy Labor ads. The numbers are pretty raw and pretty real. When he was health minister, bulk billing rates were at 84%. They're at 77%. And then before we left office, we got them to 88%. And Labor's even been found to cutting some of his statements to try and make him and paint him into the boogeyman. I think we've got a very strong record. We took spending on Medicare from $18 billion to $30 billion. I think our record stacks up, and I think what the Prime Minister is realising is that this is becoming an Achilles heels for him, health, because the numbers are real and the lived experience of Australians and what's out of pocket every time they go to a GP is real. And I think this is something that you can't spin your way out of. And unfortunately, the Prime Minister's realised he had to do something. And we're going to support to make sure we get those bulk billing rates up to where we had them as a minimum. I think that's important for all Australians. But it's also important we lean into those cost of living issues that Ash is talking about, because that's what's also driving people's concerns out there at the moment.
Look, we're out of time. It is an important topic and a big topic. We wait to see how Peter Dutton responds. David Littleproud and Ash, thank you so much for joining.